In this episode, we discuss this week's recap. This weekend, while taking a break from our money grind, Saturday morning, we load up the dirt bike into the Ford Raptor Spec Caracara 4x4 before heading out to the city to visit one of my favorite off-road tracks for a bit of solo ATV riding. And the money grind. Before heading over to the salvage yard, I checked the stock level for the bunker at the arcade, which was ready for sale. So I left the arcade and made my way over to the bunker to start the weapons sale. Hello one and all, and welcome to the Commodity Podcast, your weekly podcast for car, motorcycle, and lifestyle enthusiasts alike. I'm your host, Gunter from Commodity Los Santos, the #1 destination for automotive tuning and customization. Now, you can watch us each week. Enjoy this episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Commodity Podcast. I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. Unfortunately, I missed out on the Toros discount. Not for anything in particular, I was just really busy this week. However, it is worth noting that I did make a pitch deck trying to convince corporate to let me expense the cost of the Pegasus Toros on the company's credit card. The rationale behind this purchase was to do a customization and review video for the Commodity Podcast channel. Let's just say they couldn't see the vision, but genuinely, I also wanted to pick one up for my collection. However, I was genuinely busy this week and forgot to purchase the Toros on discount before last Thursday. So yeah, if you were able to pick up one this past week, then shout outs to you. Inspired by my last episode, How to Ride a Motorcycle Like a Pro, I got that riding bug again. If you're unfamiliar, this is a feeling you feel when you haven't ridden your motorcycle in a while. You want to get back on the motorcycle and just ride for pure fun and enjoyment, and overall, just to remember why you purchased this thing in the first place. So, this clip is of my Principe Diablos Custom, which is based on a Ducati DeVille Drexler, a custom motorcycle developed by Ducati using the X DeVille platform, which is Ducati's cruiser motorcycle. In this clip, I just picked up a bypass module, and while returning to the salvage yard, I use all the tips explained in that last video. This way, you guys don't think I'm just chit-chatting. This next clip was super random. I took my GT4 MR Spec Growler out for a quick drive. While getting on the highway, I seen someone in a Toros following me. I could tell he recently purchased his Toros too, cause it still looks stock. He then pulled up beside me for a race. Here goes that video.
Can I laugh in your face?
This weekend, while taking a break from our money grind, Saturday morning, we load up the dirt bike into the Ford Raptor Spec Caracara 4x4 before heading out to the city to visit one of my favorite off-road tracks for a bit of solo ATV riding. While riding, I noticed police coming towards me. After investigating, I noticed we had company. I continued to enjoy the track, but while returning to my vehicle, I noticed this guy trying to blow my car up. Let's just say that ended my track session. This week, I was super focused on grinding. Using my solo money guide, I was able to earn more than $4 million in 3 days, starting with a bank balance of about $13 million last Friday to ending with a bank balance of $19 million the following Tuesday. I'm eager to share this information because I know there's other earners out there that love this type of content. Plus, I'm positive you might pick up a thing or two. Keep in mind, the following clips are not intended to be a step-by-step guide, but more so a vlog or a visual story. With that information disclosed, let's get into what has been a successful week. My money grind started on Friday. I woke up a little late that morning due to me snoozing my alarm before starting my morning routine. I counted all the cash I made from street sales and VIP work from the prior week, which is about $250,000 and some change. After my morning routine and a green smoothie, I left the apartment to start my day. The weapon of choice for the day was my Carrera S convertible spec Comet S2 convertible. Our first stop was the nightclub. I entered the nightclub and within minutes I received a message about a customer complaining about his tab. Before dealing with that situation, I made sure to collect the earnings from the club safe, a total of $250,000. After collecting the earnings, I linked up with Marcel to check out what seems to be a situation with a customer arguing about his bar tab. I tried to conversate, reason with him, but the customer remained uncooperative. So, with force, we removed him from the club and continued with the money grind. Before heading over to the salvage yard, I checked the stock level for the bunker at the arcade, which was ready for sale. So, I left the arcade and made my way over to the bunker to start the weapon sale. Eventually, I made my way to the salvage yard, which I knew I was going to earn a large sum of my money from this business this week. However, I forgot to pick up the third vehicle needed for the sales this week, so we took care of that. Once I had all three vehicles, I sold them each one by one. By this point, I was pretty positive that I had earned a good sum of money. Monday morning, we had a 5 a.m. start. I went back to the club to collect my nightclub earning. This time, it was $130,000. I also checked the club stock level, and at this point, it was at $1.3 million. I knew Tony was going to want his cut of $100K, so I figured $1.2 million for this sale was good enough for me. It was time to sell. Because my bunker is located out of the city and I was already out of the city, Logistically speaking, it only made sense to check out the stock level of the bunker before heading back to the city. The bunker level was enough for a solo sale. Lucky for me, this sale was one of my favorite weapon sale missions. I ended Monday night by heading to my local ATM and depositing my earnings for the day before heading home. On Tuesday, I had another early start, continuing my grind method. And by now, I guess you can say that I live by the phrase, early bird get the worm first. Only this time, while the supplies were in the cooking phase, I decided to do auto shop related tasks, street dealings, or helping out other people when I could. My final sale was from my bunker mission, which I earned close to $300K for selling in public. Later that night, I headed home, but before I did that, I stopped at my local ATM to deposit my daily earnings. I haven't calculated my total earnings for the week, but I'm positive I at least hit 4 million, if not more. Keep in mind, this money grind only took 3 days. Overall, it's been a good week, and I'm almost at 20 million with just 80 million more to go to achieve my retirement goal of 100 million. This week in Shop Talk, we made a company decision to sell the Corvette D5. The D5 was and remains one of our favorite builds. If you're interested in copying this build for yourself, check out the description of episode 5 for more information. Before closing this sale, I did get to enjoy the D5 for 1 or 2 more days before finally closing the sale for $1,184,110. Shortly after the sale, while heading back to the auto shop, we found a Pegasus Monroe for export. I quickly drove the vehicles to the dock, then collected the earnings. While at the dock, I spotted a Bravado Bison, which I thought would be a perfect shop truck. The Bravado Bison is based on the 4th gen Dodge Ram quad cab. We modified ours to look like a 2019 Ram 1500 crew cab, a color paint option close to the real Delmonico red pearl paint option. For wheels, we added the synthetic Z wheels finished in chrome. All performance parts have been upgraded, giving the Bison the extra boost needed and recommended by our staff. Previously, I would leave my Cara 4x4 at the shop. This way, our staff can use it for picking up parts or returning to the shop after delivering a customer's vehicle. Now, with the purchase of this Barado Bison, our staff can have a designated shop vehicle. As a matter of fact, the previous purchase of the Firebolt ASP was intended to be the shop vehicle, but we then had a change of plan to turn that into a drag bill. However, due to limited customization and the costs, we decided to sell that truck. Moving on to our custom spec of the week. This week, we received the Maibatsu Penumbra FF, which is based on the second generation Mitsubishi Eclipse, and the Benefactor Serrano, which is based on the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG Roadster. As for sales, I let the shop staff deliver the Penumbra FF while I handled delivery of the Serrano. I did have a minor fender bender, but the bill was so good that I received a $5,000 tip. However, I did have to cover the charges for the damage, which equaled $545. So anyway, guys, there you have it. That's the end for this episode. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe as it helps out the channel a lot. Let me know if you guys are planning to buy anything this week in the comments below. All right? I think we have everything covered for everything that happened this week in Los Santos. That'll be the end of this episode. We'll see you guys next time. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week.